Hi, it's Dorothy Guining with Scrapbooking Quebec. This week I'm joining the Punched Out Thursday to Die For collaboration. We share ideas every Thursday on what to do with your punches and your dies. I will put links to all the other participants below, so be sure to check their channels out for more tool inspiration. And in this video, I'm going to be featuring tag dies and focusing on using tools more for page design than for embellishments. Nevertheless, I will be creating some of my embellishments with tools. Here's the material I've selected. I have paper and ephemera from 49 and Market's Vintage Artistry Anywhere collection. This is really gorgeous stuff, but I'm working way outside my comfort zone with it. And I also have some wood grain paper that's from Simple Stories. So here are the tag dies. These ones are from Tim Holtz, and I will be using the large one, which measures roughly 3 by 6. I'm about to show you all the tools I'll be using, and I will talk more about them throughout the process, and everything I use will be listed in the description box below. So let's get started. And on my desk, you're going to see I did create a frame style foundation page with 3 papers, and I gutted 2 of them. There is a tutorial on my channel where I do that, so that will be linked up below. I have a photo of me on a replica famine ship in Dublin, Ireland. I'm showing you the papers that I have from behind my foundation page, and I have some scraps of metallic paper from Tim Holtz. Here are the other papers that I have, all from 49 and Market, and I also threw in that vellum paper from Stampin' Up. At this point, for the other papers, I'm not quite sure what I need at this point. I showed you the tag dies I'll be featuring. I did round the corners on the foundation page. And in this tray, I have tons of embellishments. Basically, I narrowed it down as much as I possibly could. I have tons of them from this collection. Anyway, I will definitely be digging into that later on as well. And I showed you my basket of tools. Now, the first one I'm going to use is that large die from this Tim Holtz tag die set. And what I'm going to do is cut myself out 5 tags. These are going to serve as my foundation layer underneath my photos. Now, if you don't have tag dies, you can always create a tag. It's simply a strip of paper, angle the corners, and punch yourself a hole in the middle at the end. That is it. And you're going to see in a moment as well, my entire tripod falls on my head. And I am fine, by the way. I turned off my camera, I continued cutting, and you can see I have 5 tags. 2 of them, by the way, are shorter. I did trim them down. That's why the measurements are a little bit different on the screen. What I'm going to do is add some ink around all of these tags, because this paper is really kind of monochromatic, tone on tone. Again, totally out of my comfort zone, but absolutely beautiful, and the quality is fabulous. Anyway, I wanted to add a little bit of contrast around these tags, so that's what you see me doing, applying this ink. It's Morning Mist by Versifine Claire. So I have my tags all inked there, and I'm going to place them on the foundation page and give you an idea where I'm going with this. You can see why I have 2 shorter. Those are the ones at the top and at the bottom, because I kind of want the tags to point out in a sideways triangle. And my plan is to place the photo on the far right. Now, I do want a photo mat, so I decided to go with the wood grain, and off camera I cut myself one, and I also cut myself out 2 pieces of scrap cardstock to layer up underneath. They're hidden underneath the photo. That's just to give it a little bit of lift off the page. And if ever I decide to add foam adhesive, which I don't in case I forget to mention it, at least it gives a solid base for the foam adhesive. So now what you see me doing is adhering the tags to the foundation page. And I'm starting with the top and bottom tags. And all I'm doing there is making sure that they are of equal distance from the far right. That's it. The other 3 tags gradually point out, and the furthest point out is in the middle tag. So you'll see what that looks like in a moment. I'm not going to adhere the photo right away. Basically, what I'm going to have to do before I start embellishing is establish a spot for a journaling box along with my title. And once I do that, then I will start embellishing. So I'm showing you the tray, basically telling you I can't do that now. I need a journaling box and a title. So my title is going to come from the Viewmaster text circle dies, I think they're called, from Elizabeth Craft Designs. It's going to be a circle that says sightseeing. And the other die for the journaling box is going to be one of the Elizabeth Craft Design Planner Essential dies. And from that set, what I will be cutting out, it's going to be almost like a clipboard. That's actually the first one I do cut out with my Big Shot. It's super cute. It's the first time I'm using it actually. So basically I'm cutting out the back of the clipboard in the wood grain paper that came from behind the foundation page. With this black metallic paper, I'm cutting the clip that's going to go on the top. And with the flip side of a wood grain paper, I'm going to cut out a graph paper, and that's going to be like in a long thin rectangle that is smaller than the base of the clipboard that I just cut out. I end up cutting it crooked and it shows on that graph paper. So off camera, you're going to see I do cut myself out another one, but I didn't want to cut two out in front of you. It would just take too much time. Now what you see me doing is working on the title. So I'm using that circle there and it says sightseeing. You'll see it in a minute. And behind it, I'm going to back it in a solid piece, a lighter piece to add contrast. So what you see me doing right now is just poking out the little words. I'm having a little bit of trouble for some strange reason. Anyway, I stop the film and I continue, and you're going to see I did adhere all of these pieces together. So you can see the clipboard, the three pieces are adhered together. That's for my journaling box. And the title, it's just two pieces and they are adhered together as well. So I'm showing you where I plan to place them, but what I want to do is create a few more embellishments with a couple die sets that I pulled from my stash. Basically, I was looking for any tools in my stash that had a nautical theme since I was on a ship, and one of them is called Under the Sea Framelits by Stampin Up. It's retired, I'm positive of it. And the other one is called Smooth Sailing Dies, again from Stampin Up. So I'm starting with this rope one there. That was from the Under the Sea one. You're going to see I cut out a bunch of those. I absolutely love that die. And the other ones, I'm cutting some out in metallic and wood grain paper. So I have a ship wheel there and an anchor. And you're going to see I poke out that rope in a minute as well. And then what I will do is stop the camera and cut out some more. And so basically I have a lot of embellishments from this 49 in Market collection, which is travel themed, but I was just looking for something a little bit more theme specific. So that's what I'm doing with the anchors and the rope and all of that. So I have all of my embellishing around me. I'm showing you what I cut out with my die cutting machine. I also cut out some reinforcers for those tags, but from the ephemera, I just went and narrowed it down some more. So I have some tickets, some geo tags, some little banners. I have some really large layering pieces as well, and those are some tags, I think. So there is a lot more in the tray, but I definitely had to narrow it down. I just had too many. There's no way I was going to use all of that. So what I'm going to do is start with the larger pieces. Now there's this thing that almost looks like a flattened envelope, but it fits perfectly behind my photo. So I'm going to put it there. And for that map, which I really like, I cut it in half so that it could peek out from both sides of my photo. So I plan to have that clipboard there for my journaling come out from underneath the photo as well. And my two main embellishment clusters are going to be in the bottom right and the top left. So in those areas, I'm going to start the embellishment clusters with those rope pieces that I cut out. So I put actually 3 in the bottom and just 1 in the top behind that clipboard. I'm going to fool around a lot with those anchors. I absolutely love them, but I have no idea where to put them for some strange reason. So you're going to see me addition them in many spots, take them away, put them back. In the end, even though I'm adding the rope and the ship wheels, I don't end up using them. For whatever reason, I'm having an easier time with the bigger pieces than the smaller ones for this particular process. I do add a few tickets at the top right of the photo just to make a hint of another cluster up there, a hint of a third cluster. And now I'm starting to adhere the stuff. So I adhered those reinforcers to the tags. I'm adhering those mats to the page, the map at the bottom. I have that larger flat envelope underneath the photo. I'm coming in with the cluster basis, which is the ropes in both of those areas. And again, I know I want more stuff. I wasn't satisfied when I started this adhering process, but it often happens to me. I cannot think past the larger pieces. There's just too much going on my desk and I become overwhelmed. So at this point, I adhere the larger pieces, which is what you see me doing right now, and then I will come in with the smaller pieces. So you can see I put my journaling box there as well, the title in the bottom right. I'm tucking in those tickets in the top right, and I'm really using the layers up there that are behind the photo. But now I'm still trying to figure out what to do with the anchor there. I decide at this point that my cluster at the bottom right needs to be a bit bigger. So I'm coming in with these ephemera pieces, which are like little flags. And again, I'm working with the layers. I put one behind the title, kind of behind the rope, and then I put one underneath the rope to the left of the title and another one just coming out from under the photo. So again, I'm working with all of those layers there. Now I'm coming in with some twine, and I do want to add twine to all three of those tags, and I added to one of those anchors, thinking that may help me decide where to put it. I'm actually adhering a little ship wheel there in the wood grain paper, but it really doesn't show up. Honestly, I have a tough time with those little pieces that I cut out, and I absolutely love the anchor, absolutely want to use the anchor, but I have absolutely no idea where to put it. So here I go, putting in my little twine pieces, and I'm happy with that. And then what I will do is actually stop the camera and try to figure out what I want to do with those anchors. And all I'm doing is taking the anchor, the ship wheel, and the rope and placing them in a bunch of different spots. Finally, I ended up putting two anchors with twine just above that title there. And what I feel like I'm missing is an embellishment between that cluster on the bottom right of the photo and the top right, those little tickets at the top. So I tried a few longer pieces, and I ended up going with what looks like a distressed film strip. And when you look at it at the very end, you'll see it's quite subtle, but it almost joins the gap between those two embellishment clusters, and I'm much, much happier with it. So that's it. All I did off camera was my journaling. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd greatly appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would be absolutely thrilled if you did. And if you are a subscriber, thank you very, very much. Don't forget to check out all the other participants. Their links are in the description box below. I'm going to be taking a few weeks off, so I will be back in May for this series. There are still 2 more process videos on my channel scheduled in April, however. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you soon on YouTube. Bye-bye.